Hello, Revere, and welcome to our Veterans and Community show. Today I have a special guest. He's a Korean vet, and he's also a senior. Alex Tranfaglia, thank you for coming on Revere TV.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Now, you are a Korean vet, so tell us something about your military service, Al.
Well, they got inducted in Fort Devens, and like I mentioned before, at Devens, they had a roll call, alphabetically order by names and to the right and to the left. Adams to the right, Anderson to the left. I kept on until come to the T's. That was mine. So the people from the right went to we went to Fort Hood, Texas, and the people from the left, Shoemaker, California. Shoemaker. Now, then we went to Fort Hood. Took my basic there, Fort Hood, and from there we assigned to Germany, and the people that were called to the right were assigned to Korea, the Korean. But right my basic. After basic, they sent me to school, maintenance and repair of heavy equipment, and demolition, and so we stood there for 3 months, and my unit went over to Germany, and they telegrammed the school complete course and catch up with the outfit when after completion of a course.
Before you go, Al, I got to ask you, you said you took some basic training at Fort Hood?
Fort Hood, Texas.
Is that the same one where that
yes,
killed 13 of those?
Yeah, that was the same. I was surprised to hear that, you know. And let's see, Fort Hood, that's usually an unarmored. It's an armored. So I was with the 17 Armored Engineer. Oh. So that was combat engineers. So we nicknamed it the WPA soldiers because wherever the tanks went, we had to follow them and get them on the right road. We had to repair the roads for them. We bridged the Rhine for the tanks. And the Rhine River is like a highway. The current was 6 foot a second. And I spent more time on the water than some Navy guys because you bridge the Rhine, you have to bridge it at night because the traffic stops at 7 o'clock. And the traffic on the Rhine begins at 7 in the morning. So the bridge has to be done before, after 7 and taken down by 7 in the morning.
Is that a bridge, excuse me, out that went up? So
ponton. No, these are ponton.
Oh.
Ponton. They were inflated or like tubes. They had threads.
The pontoons that they had them?
Oh, yeah. You just have sections. They were sections.
Is that the same bridge like they have in that they made the movie The Bridge at Remagen? Was that similar to that?
Well, it's you know, it's what it is. It's floats. It's
okay.
It's a float.
Oh, it's a man-made bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
These are floats. You inflate them. You inflate them, and you connect them with you know, and you have to anchor each one because, like I repeat myself, the Rhine was 7 foot a second on the current.
Wow.
And so you had anchors, and so you had to build it like an ark, you know. Then the tanks would go over it. But we missed the time date. So in other words, we have to do it again. So we had to take the bridge down before 7 in the morning because the traffic on the Rhine it's like a highway for the barges, you know.
Yep.
And from there, we went to, you know, I was all over Germany, like you say, went to Kessel. Now, you had your experience with Kessel.
Right. But tell us how you like Kessel. You know, that's what the Tranfaglia was.
We were on maneuvers on Kessel. And the other side of Kessel was the Russian zone. We could hear the Russian tanks. And that's why we knew the Russians were going to have their maneuvers. So we started our maneuvers. We knew that they were going to start their maneuvers in Kessel and head east. We started at Kessel and head west. So in other words, both armies were at that line.
But
maybe
going opposite directions.
going, yeah, because it was the Russian and the American zone.
How did you get along with the Russians? Did you meet any of them? The soldiers?
No. You don't even see them. You didn't even see them.
Well, when I was stationed in Berlin, we were buddy really at the time. Even though there was a Berlin blockade on, you know, that they would let us fly from Frankfurt
Yeah,
to
that's
Temple
right,
Huff. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. The Russians and the Americans, I mean the plain soldiers, we were like you and I are talking now. We were real friendly. It was the big shots in Washington and Moscow that were pulling the strings on there. So tell us something about Kassel.
Oh, well, that's it. We just moved from Kessel. See, I was a corporal. I was a squad leader.
That's all I ever was a corporal.
Yeah,
too,
well, I would have been more if I didn't go to school, because when my outfit left from Texas, they got graded rank because they needed so many sergeants and all that. But me, I was a PFC, and when I got back, I said, "Hey, I see the guys I says, "My God," I says, "they're sergeants." So the captain says, "Well," he says, "you were away, so we had to have rank because it goes overseas." So then they made me corporal. Then, like I say, I was a squad leader, and during the maneuvers, we had 3 tanks that we had to see that they got, position on the roads and the bridges, and because in maneuvers, they go by the empires, how many tanks, how many squads, I mean, how many maintenance guys, how many squads, how many bridge builders, and they judge, well, no, your 2 tanks are knocked out, or we're knocked out.
Right.
So from then on, well, we were on our own for 10 days. Then the commander said to us, "Look," he says, you can't keep up with us because it was muddy and it was, he said, the tanks, he said, we can't keep up, so we'll have to go." He says, I'll give you coordinates for 5 days, the coordinates where you are. So, and after that, he says, you can catch up with your outfit. I know the zone. So we were for 5 days, like on a furlough, you know what I mean? We visit the gas houses, the beer parlors and all that. So finally we, got up with our squadron.
Did you ever visit Berlin?
No. I was close to it. No,
But you never got there?
Never got to Berlin.
But you got to Munich, though.
Yes, Munich.
Did you ever go to one of their Oktoberfest or one of their beer?
Wonderful. Oktoberfest, fantastic. And May Day, and you ever been to the May Day? That's their vacation time. People, it's their holiday, and they take their lunch to the woods, in the wooded area. And the woods in Germany are like you're in Storyland.
I know that.
Oh, beautiful. And my buddy, my buddy had 2 Italians in there. So we go in the woods, and he sees this big globe of mushrooms. He says, "Look at that." He says, "What? Mushrooms?" I said, "What? The mushrooms." He says, "My father will forget a bundle like that." He grabbed them, cooked them, and delicious. But like I repeat myself, the forest is like you're back in the Storyland.
I got to tell you something. You mentioned about the woods in Germany. There was a wood there, I'm sure you heard of it. They call it the Black Forest. And when I went home, one of the Germans gave me a cuckoo clock. I don't know, because he might have thought I was cuckoo. But he did give me a cuckoo clock as a gift because I treated the Germans nice. They did. I mean, we were told at the beginning not to fraternize with them, but then they changed it.
They were nice.
They were very nice people.
Yeah.
And he gave me this cuckoo clock, and believe it or not, it still hangs in the house to this day. So tell me, did you get a chance to go to Birch's Garden?
Well,
which is not far from Munich.
Yeah. Well, I think we went around it or something. I mean, the outfit went around it, and but Mainz and
Yep.
Munich and like I say, like this one incident in Sonnenhofen. That's near the Swiss Alps, you know what I mean? And they had this beautiful guest house. The woman would make this cream chocolate, delicious with coffee, delicious. And we said, and we would get out at 5 o'clock, and when we get there, it's practically gone.
I got to tell you, I went into a German cafe, a restaurant there one time in Frankfurt, because you were also in Frankfurt.
Yes.
And I
yeah.
used to live there because I did some work there. I lived on Eschenheimer Landstrasse. I got to tell you, I went into a restaurant. I said I want a piece of coffee and pie, and the German there said, "Do you want some Schlagsahne?" I said, "Schlagsahne." I didn't know what the word meant at the time. I says, "I don't know what it means," and he didn't understand English, and I didn't know what Schlagsahne. So one of the other Germans came over who knew a little English. He says, "It's whipped cream." So he took some of that German whipped cream and he put it on the pie and he ate it. Yep, it was delicious, out of this world. They had chocolate, vanilla. So I said to the guy who spoke English, I says, "If I just want to buy the whipped cream to take back with me to the, where I live, would he sell me some?" So he spoke to him in German. Now, they didn't know I understood what he was saying, but he spoke to him in German with the Amerikanisches, that and all that jazz. And he said, yeah. And I think it was like a mark or two for a package, not a package, but a bottle that they put it in a container, cardboard container. And I took it there and I would eat that whipped cream, and I used to go back to that place and always ask for that, and I liked it over there.
Like that, now, see, we get out at 5 o'clock. Every time we go to this woman's restaurant, it's practically gone. So we tell her, see, we don't get out till 5. I says, "This delicious. This chocolate cream is delicious."
Yeah.
I says, "Why don't you make more?" She says, "Why?" "Because you'll make more money." She says, "Why?" Then I realized money was not their concern.
Right.
Yeah?
But you go into a restaurant and you say you want a piece of Black Forest cake. That's where I guess that's German style cake. No, really. Right. By the way, I want to leave Germany for a while and come back to our homeland.
Okay.
The Heimatland. At the senior center. Now, before we get deep into the senior center, there is a woman there. You and I know her very well, Eileen Murillo.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let you tell us about her.
Oh, Eileen, Murillo.
Yeah, Eileen Murillo.
Yeah, and wonderful. She was the only woman I ever known that was interested in woman veterans.
Right.
And I was amazed. I says, because the veterans, they did just as much in the service than we did, if not more.
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
And I was wondering why we never penetrate on the women's veterans like the American Legion. You get the Korean, you get the World War II, your World War I Korean.
Yeah, but all the monuments, if you
But they're
notice,
all male.
Right.
I said, and I give Eileen credit, but she's the one that
Started
that, and I give her credit.
She trekked in the wintertime out by herself, collected 150 names,
Right.
but she went around and checked more, and she went phone calls. She wrote letters to the White House. She got a response from the White House. She had a Major General coming down from Maryland, I believe, McWilliams, coming down to speak at the memorial when it was donated.
Oh yeah, and, I give her credit for that. You know what I mean? Because like I repeat myself, it's a shame because they did just as much service as the male in the service. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they flew the planes. They did they worked in the factories. They worked they made the parachutes. They folded the parachutes. They worked in the hospitals. Eileen was a second lieutenant,
Yes.
At
And
Walter Reed Hospital in Washington.
and some of them made this, the extreme sacrifice too. You know what I mean? So but I give her credit, and she's well deserved. Now get back to the senior center. Oh, I want to. Well, I'm speaking for the people in the senior center.
Go ahead, Al. You beat me to that.
Okay, Malta, Jerry, myself, and the rest of the crowd. We appreciate your music.
Oh, you do?
Oh, we appreciate it because.
I wish you would tell the people there that.
Oh, I'll tell you the truth. That's the memory station. That's a 740.
Yep, WJIB.
And I listen to that every breakfast. I have that music on, and when I'm having dinner at night, it's on that same station, memory station. That music. I says, Morris. He broke me into this. Now I enjoy a meal with music. Thank you. And I'm speaking for most of the people, 99%.
Right, but I got to tell you,
appreciate your music.
But I appreciate not only the 99%, the other 1%, because if it wasn't for the music, I would have nothing to eat. They keep throwing it. But I gotta say this in all fairness, for the people who have never been to our senior center, they have no idea what they are missing, because not only is the food terrific, they come down, they check your blood pressure every other Thursday. Nurse Carol Donovan, one of the nicest ladies in Revere, and a beautiful nurse comes down, checks our blood pressure.
Yes.
The Shine people come down to help us. They have Zumba, dancing lessons, entertainment, movies, everything.
Yes,
so
and the crew, the staff are wonderful. They're wonderful, they're pleasant, and they're very, they're considerate,
Well, if you take a look who we got there, we got Lois Diamond, a
wonderful
director of activities. We got Marissa, who's in charge of assistant to the, like I want to say Steve Fielding, the director. Marianne, fairly new, but a lovely lady.
Lovely lady.
Yep.
Yes.
On there.
Wonderful staff.
And the people in the kitchen, very nice too.
Yep. Terrific.
And the food's good. I got to tell you, when I started with the senior center, I only weighed 124 pounds. Within 2 months, I was up to 189.
I believe it. I believe it.
I mean, with the pastrami sandwiches they have there, the lasagna, the cacciatoris, Now, some people some people can't eat certain food, but they do have a menu. They ought to take a look at the menu. You can pick them up at the Citizens Bank or at other places.
That's right.
And if you enjoy a meal, you call up a day in advance and come down, Al.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Steve Fielding doing a wonderful job.
Oh, excellent job.
Wonderful job. He's right out there. He's out right with the crowd. He's in the.
Sometimes I think there is no director because he's with us all the time.
That's right. And if there's something he wants to know. If there's something you dislike or something you don't agree, he wants to know, and he'll.
And he's very fair. I got to give him credit.
Yes, we'll go on with that there.
Before we continue, Al, I have to say this. I know. First of all, let me thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Right. I mean, you're a Korean vet because you was in during the war. I was in during the peacetime. You see, I did not. The war ended in '45. When I was in, I got in '46 because I was 17 at the time. But thanks to President Truman, he made me a World War II veteran. Harry, wherever you are, thank you, my friend.
One thing about Harry. Harry said, if you want a friend in Washington, get a dog.
He was right.
Yeah.
But one thing I liked about Harry, the buck stops here.
And when he sends a letter out, he pulls out a book of stamps. And he puts a stamp. And Harry, to my way of thinking, is one of the courageous presidents.
I agree with you.
Yeah, because
of the atomic bomb.
Yes.
Remember the decision he made?
Right.
When he was told by Dr. Oppenheimer and Dr. Teller, who worked on the bomb, that it was worked and it's ready to go, and it would save 1 million American lives. I don't care if it only saved 1 American life, but it would save 1 million. You know what Truman's word was? Go ahead and use it.
Yes, that's right.
No hesitation whatsoever.
Exactly. And another thing I respect, Truman, he was one president, not a millionaire.
Not even a college graduate.
And he was not a millionaire going in, and he wasn't a millionaire coming out.
That's right.
And he was the only president I ever heard of that. All the other, they come out millionaires. Harry, I have a lot of respect for Harry. And
he worked he was a haberdashery before he became
yeah.
the thing there.
Yeah.
Right. But
And,
you know, he never hit anything. He always had that big sign that I remember in front of his
the
desk.
buck
The buck stops
here. And then this.
For a minute, I thought he was talking about the reindeers, but he, that's what I thought he was. Well, you know, that's the buck.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Before we continue, with all kidding aside, the Revere Veteran Community under the direction of the City of Revere Fire and Police Department. We give a flag to every veteran that comes up here, whether they're a veteran of the community or a veteran of the military. You happen to be both, so from us to you.
Thank you. I thank you, and I thank the City of Revere.
By the way, you have daughters, and
I have a daughter and a son.
we have a thing here, but maybe it might help you. You haven't seen some people that you remember in the service from the Korean War was 1950, so you're talking almost 65 years ago. Do you remember any people that
yes,
you
in fact, in my outfit, we had three guys from Revere, beside myself, four. And that was, Dickie Terminello. That's Al's Terminello's brother.
Oh.
He was in we took basic together. And Choo Choo Frangillo.
Yeah, these names ring a bell.
That was his nickname. Choo Choo Frangillo, Revere, and John Mansfield from Revere. There was three Revere guys.
Now, do you remember anybody who were outside of Revere that you haven't seen in 65
well,
years?
yes, Malinky, or I can go down. Well, you know, these are they're from Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, the closest one, and we were,
You know, Al, I got to say this. You're on TV. We go on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and if these people out there are watching us, someone happens to hear the name that you just mentioned, let them notify Revere TV, and if they want to say hello to you, you may not have seen them in 65 years. I hope they're alive. We'll relay the message to you.
That's wonderful,
Yep.
wonderful.
We've had 3 cases where this has worked, by the way. 3 cases.
Wonderful,
Yep.
wonderful.
So, yep.
And,
We've put out about 100, but we got 3. Even if we get 1, we're good.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the veterans. How much time we got left?
Go ahead. We got plenty of
Okay.
time. We still got
Getting back to the veterans, Morris, I salute 2 of the most important events. As I see a person with the Medal of Honor, as now I salute him. Let him on my heart, and a person who has the Purple Heart. I salute them. Even today, if I see them knowing that they're Medal of Honor or Purple Heart, I'll never hesitate not to salute.
Right. As you know, we've had some great people come on our show. We've had the father of one of a Purple Heart who was killed, a recipient of Purple Heart that was killed, Mr. Paul Monty. His son was a great hero, a great kid.
Yes. Yes. You salute them. You
not only honor the son, I honor the father too, because you could tell a book by its cover. Well, the father is the cover of the son.
Right, right.
So, Paul Monty, if you're listening out there, thank you.
Thank you, right. And it's and them are the ones that didn't survive.
And we had Tom Kelly from Somerville, who's also a Medal of Honor recipient.
Yeah.
Who was on our show. He came to the memorial, May Memorial, a year at the American Legion. So.
And if he survived.
He survived. Thank you.
Imagine what he went through to survive the Medal of Honor. I mean, that there, Morris, there's a veterans right there. I mean, this what veterans are all about. Sticking together.
Right, but I wish that American government would make it mandatory that every girl, every boy, and the reason I say girl and boy because I'm talking about the ages of high school when they come up between 14 and 18 when they graduate. Somewhere along there to spend at least 1 year in the service after they get out of school.
Yeah, well, that's true. Now they have the high school.
Whether in the Peace Corps or somewhere else, but
That's
the
it.
community or
Yeah.
the military,
Yeah.
it would do them a world of good.
That's true. That's true. And you know, hey, but you know, this is what this country's made of. I mean, you know, togetherness and you know, and from the heart, you know. But
Look, where else in the world can you speak the freedom that we have in this country? Think of it. Look over in the Middle East. You open up your mouth, you say the wrong thing, they behead you. Okay? Or they hang you. Or they shoot you.
yeah,
Okay?
this is what, you know. This is what. My God, you know. This, and then
These are all family, excuse me, like Syria, Saudi Arabia. I know they're supposed to be our tweet allies, but they're family-owned countries. I mean, there's no democracy in there to elect another person or to run against them like we have in this country. You don't like the president, 4 years later you put a new one in. You don't like your congressman, put a new one in.
Exactly, exactly. You know, that's but.
We got about 2.5 minutes left. Take a minute and a half and say whatever you want.
Well, I want to thank you, Morris. Believe me, I want to thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure, a pleasure.
And having other veterans up here.
Oh, yeah.
And I repeat, and thank you for your contributions to the veterans, what you have done. You know what I mean?
Well, it's people like you that make the show. I'm just a host. Anybody could sit and talk, you know, but it's people like you that come up and do it for us.
Well, it's people like you that we're proud of that we can do it. You know what
Right.
I mean?
So I want to thank you, Al, for coming up here. And I always say this, God bless you, Al.
Thank you. And I want to thank you, Morris. Thank
Right.
you. And God bless you.
Thank you. And God bless our people of Revere, and especially our people in the service and the military. God bless us all, and our great country, the United States of America. And thank you all for listening until we meet again. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.